Hi guys, today we are going to work on Home Connection, page 21 and 22, titled Comparing Fractions. Please put your name and number up at the top. Remember, as you're watching this video, you should write down everything that I'm doing so that you make sure that you're learning the steps along with me. And then if you need to, please pause. If you need to get caught up, just pause the video and then start it again when you're ready. Let's zoom into number 1 here. It says color in the grid to show the fractions below. Each grid represents one whole. I'm not going to color, I'm just going to shade. And when I'm looking at these grids, these remind me of our money pieces that we were working with. Okay, so when I was working with 1/2, I had 50 cents. And if you remember, this was 25 cents, this was 50 cents. So half of my grid, that's an easy one. 1/4 was the same as a quarter. I'm shading in 1 out of the 4 pieces. 3/10. 3/10. If I think about my money, my dimes represented 1/10, and they were one long strip. So 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, just like that. 16/10, and they gave me 2 grids. Why would they give me 2 grids for 16/10? Think about that for a minute. Yeah, this is called an improper fraction. An improper fraction is when the numerator is bigger than the denominator. When that happens, that means we're going to have at least one whole grid filled in. Okay? So if I think about this was 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, I need to do that 16 times. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. How many would the whole grid be? The whole grid would be 10/10, 11/10, 12/10, 13/10, 14/10, 15/10, and 16/10. So 16/10 is the same as how much? What if I were going to write this as a mixed number? How many whole grids did I shade in? 1. And how much of the next grid did I shade in? What fraction is the next grid? 6/10. 16/10 and 1 6/10 are the equivalent. They're the same amount. 6/4. Again, it's an improper fraction, so that means we're going to have at least one whole. So if I think about what fourths are, this was 1/4. I need to shade in 6/4. So here's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, which is one whole, 5/4, and 6/4. So let's change 6/4 into a mixed number. I shaded in one whole, and how much of the next one? 1/2. So 1 and 1/2 is the same as 6/4. Let's go to number 2. Use the pictures above to help complete each comparison below using less than, greater than, or equal to. So I have these all shaded in. They're asking me which one's bigger, okay, and to make an appropriate symbol. So looking up here, 1/2 is this, 3/10 is this. Which one was bigger? This one's the mouth eats the bigger one. I want you to go through and do number 2 right now. Pause the video. When you have number 2 filled out, then you can push play. All right, nice job with number 2. Let's go on to number 3. Add these fractions. Hint, think about money to help. Perfect. We've been practicing solving these problems with money. So let's change this into coins or into money. 1/2 is the same as how much money? 50 cents. 1/4 is the same as how much money? 25 cents. If I add 50 cents and 25 cents together, I get 75 cents. But I can't leave my answer as that. I have to change it back to a fraction. What fraction represents 75 cents? Yes, I can do 3/4, which would mean 3/4, or I can do 75/100. Either of those represent 75 cents. Letter B, 1/2. How much money is that? It's $1.50. 3/4. How much money is that? Yeah, we just solved it up at the top, 75 cents. If I add $1.50 to 75 cents, how much total money do I have? $2.25, but now I got to change it back. How can I change it back? The 2 is still a whole 2. 20, how do I show 25 cents? 1/4. This is a mixed number. I have 2 whole dollars and a fraction of another. Next one, 1/2 plus 1/10. 1/2 is how much money? 50 cents. 1/10 is how much money? Think dimes. 10 cents. Add those two together. I get 60 cents. How can I show that as money? I can show it as 6/10, or as a fraction, I'm sorry. How can I show money as a fraction? I could show it as 6/10. It would take 6 dimes, or I could show it as 60 pennies. Okay. All right, let's go to the bottom one. 3/10. How much money would that be? 30 cents. 1/4. How much money is that? 25 cents. Add them together, you get 55 cents. How do I show that as a fraction? Go ahead and write it down and then flip to the back side. All right, number 4. Francisco and his mother bought some fruit yesterday. They bought 2.5 pounds of peaches, 7/10 of a pound of raspberries, and 1 1/4 pounds of apricots. How many pounds of fruit did they buy in all? That's important, in all. Show your work. In all makes it sound like we need to add, right? Whenever I see in all, I think of adding. Show your work means I need to make sure that I'm showing the steps that I took to get my answer. So I need to add, let's set up our equation, 2.5 plus 7/10 plus 1 1/4 to get my answer. That's my equation. Let's change this all into money because I think that's going to make it easier for us. Now, when we're adding things, I want you to, and when they have, and we have 1/2, 7/10, and 1/4, we know that we can change all of those denominators into money. Sometimes you get fractions where it doesn't make sense to change it into money, but this problem, it definitely does. How would I show 2.5 as dollars and cents? 250, good. Plus, how would I show 7/10 as dollars and cents? Looks like this, 70 cents. How would I show 1.5 or 1 1/4 as dollars and cents? Yeah, it'd be $1.25. So now I have this as money. It's all been changed. How can I finish off this problem? What should I do next? Yeah, let's add it all together. So I'm going to start, when I add these together, I'm going to start with this one and this one because I'm working with quarters. It makes it easier. So if I have, let's start with my dollars. If I have $2 plus $1, what do I have? $3. If I have 50 cents and 25 cents, what do I have? 75 cents. Good. And I still have my 70 cents left over, so I'm just going to rewrite it down. Now I need to add $3.75 plus 70 cents. I'm going to rewrite it over here. Notice how I line up my decimals so everything is nice and lined up to ensure accuracy. Go ahead and add these together. 5 plus 0 is 7 plus 7, or 70 cents plus 70 cents would be $1.40. Bring down my decimal. 3 plus 1 is 4. So I get $4.45. Can I leave my answer like that? No, I can't. I have to change it back to a fraction because the question is in fraction form. So how would I show $4 as a part of my fraction? Yeah, that would be the same as having 4 whole grids shaded in. So 4 is nice and big. How would I show 45 cents as a fraction? Right, it would be 45 over 100. This is a mixed number. All right, if you'd like a challenge, please go ahead and attempt number 5 and 6. I definitely think it's something you can handle. Also, on the front side, up at the top in the right-hand corner, if you are interested in earning a Best of the West quick ticket, just write, I would like a Best of the West, that's the abbreviation, quick ticket with a smiley face. When I see that message up in the corner, I know that you put in the extra effort to follow the tutorial. When you turn it in, you will be granted a quick ticket for striving for excellence. Nice job, fifth graders.